Hello there, my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your twin flame read for November-ish 2019. I am your reader for the moment. Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, and president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, spiritual events production company. Since 1998, I'm still going strong, and now I'm a YouTuber. Go figure, the path, right? If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm shooting for that 1,000 subscriber mark so that I can do super live chat, and the promise that I have made and will continue to make is once I hit 1,000, because it's not an if, it's a when, I will do once a month drunk tarot. Drunk tarot. If you've watched any of the other vids, I talk about it. You know, I never drink when I read professionally, so, but I know what happens when I do drink. When I do, like if I'm at a party and I'm not actually working yet. I worked one this past Sunday out in Moriches on Long Island. A lovely time. Dear friends of mine from high school, 50th birthday party. And, you know, they were drinking and having a good time. And I was just sitting in the kitchen in the living room on the sectional, like spot reading on a little coffee table. And it was lovely. And they were like, do you want a drink? Can we get you anything? You know, or do you want a little alcohol? And I was like, no, thank you. That doesn't affect the reading so much as it shuts off my edit function, right? My inhibitions slip away. And I'm a funny drunk, so, you know, it might be a little harsh, but make people be laughing at the same time. So I figure I will offer that at least once a month for the first couple of months for entertainment purposes only, although the clarity comes with. I can't necessarily divorce the two. I'd rather be diplomatic. Apparently, my youngest cat, Milky, what the fuck? Come here, booger. Where are you? Figures I'm doing the Cancerian and I have to play mama. Come on up, baby. Come on up with mama. Come on. Come on, squishy. This is the one that won't let me pick him up. But this is Melchior. This is my baby kitten. He's a medicine ball. He's not a baby. Yeah, if I pick him up, he'll claw me to shreds. I'm not doing it. He's like, nope. Cool. So please do like, subscribe, hit notifications, all that stuff. Help me reach my goal. And to my subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. If anybody would like to put in a timestamp, I have to do this preamble for the new people so that they kind of know. Because I'm not your average reader, and if you know my previous work, you know this to be true. So go ahead, skip ahead. Somebody pop a timestamp down and said, starts here or something. Reading starts here. In the comment section below. But here is the deal. Every reader has to say this sooner or later. This is a collective read, all right? It's not going to fit absolutely everybody, though I do pray and bless every single deck I work in when I read, that it be for the well-being of all, that anybody who watches it, they're drawn there for some higher purpose, right? Known or unknown to them. It might be something in the title. It might just be an intuitive thing, or maybe it's a misclick and they find me. So, you know, just keep in mind that I'm reading millions and millions of people in a zodiacal collective, Sun, Moon, Rising. I always do in all of the zodiacal reads. I will throw in, obviously, Venus for relationship stuff like soulmate, twin flame, path of true love, and Mercury for Mercury retrograde, and Mars for sex reading. You sort of get the idea. Really, anything further out than Mars, we're getting into very impersonal planets. I guess I could do Jupiter, but, you know, Jupiter changes signs once a year, so it's might as well be, you know, like Chinese astrology, like I'm the year of the monkey. Don't laugh, I know you're not shocked. Virgin, I'm a virgin monkey. Virgo, cross my monkey legs. So do check out your other signs and, yeah, enjoy the ride because I'm fun and I can deliver probably what you don't want to hear in a way that it's at least very compassionate, diplomatic, and funny so that you can, you know, spoonful of sugar, medicine going down, all of that. We are doing a soulmate read. That was the last series. We're doing a twin flame read. My take on twin flames, different than most people on YouTube at least. Inspired by the work of KAHN in a video called Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. Just really what a wake-up call that video was. He's a brilliant spiritual teacher, Hay House author. He's got 2 books out. I've never met him. I'm not getting any kickbacks or anything like that. It's just, he has saved my ass during dark nights of the soul. Not that he pulled me out of them, but, you know, really gave me some clarity and guidance. So I just think he's wonderful. I watch a lot of his videos just to keep me going. in this particular journey, leg of my journey, you could say. Enjoying him a lot, but what it did is taught me, because I was raised by a lawyer. My mother divorced my father, my natal father, and married her divorce lawyer. My stepfather, who I call Zeus, and they have been together since I'm 4 years old. So, yeah, you could say I was raised in a litigious environment. Isn't that right? Love you. Oh, yes, Thurston. I love them both very, very, very dearly. But if you're going to talk contracts, that's what I was raised by. Mark, raised by sharks, right? So they're both soul contracts, right? Pre-incarnational contract, soulmate, twin flame. Soulmate, the baseline of the contract is you help each other heal in the lifetime. Twin flame, you teach each other how to heal yourselves individually, usually by them being very transformative, very turbulent, very tumultuous, very tricky, very touchy, very triggery relationships. And just like soulmates, they can be in any form. Just the bottom line is that you cannot give each other what you really want. You can only give each other what you need, in the sense of usually the medicine that requires the spoonful of sugar, which might be the soulmate contract, to help all of that go down. We clear? Good. And look, a lot of times people are watching twin flame videos on YouTube and rock and roll. They can use whatever definition that they want, but in this new way of looking at it, thank you so much, Matt KAHN, it's like, that's a soulmate, right? That's more of a soulmate contract, and you have hundreds of both twin flame and soulmate relationships. So that I just think takes the ego and the stress out of the whole thing. It's like, oh, right. It's not just this one person. Because then what if they die? I have to wait until the next lifetime. Fuck that. The divine doesn't work like that. What would love do? Not that. So what else is there? What else? All right, we're doing divine feminine, divine masculine. It's not about bodily gender. We all have both dynamics within ourselves. But you will find certain contracts bring out more of your divine masculine or your divine feminine. I very much define myself as a first wave of ascension, divine feminine, intuitive, empathic, right? Lemuria, moo, right? So very, very into the divine feminine, being the divine feminine, until you get me around the right guy, and then I am divine masculine, and the grapevines of Dionysus grow throughout my hair, and Dionysus with his thrisis, etc., etc. Very divine masculine, right? So it's all about chemistry, right? What brings out your energetic dynamic archetype. Cool. So I think that's about it. Oh, except that all the cards that I'm reading are in the description box below. The decks, they're all down there. I don't read all of them every single time. But check out my links there. There are some there for my books, for my Vimeo on demand page, particularly the Path of True Love stuff. The workshops might be helpful for you to go take a look at. And actually, the trailers that I made for them are usually pretty informative, right? So I figure at least people are going to watch the trailer, let them get something out of it. Cool. Please remember to breathe. Inhaling all that you need from spirit, consciously or unconsciously. In my book, might as well do it consciously as much as you can. And exhaling blessings unto all of life, as well as letting go of anything that is ready to leave your energy field under grace and in perfect ways on the exhale. We ready? Let's do this. We're going to be pulling 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine, and one for the contract in and of itself, almost like the third entity, the baseline of the contract, what's going on in the contract, where they are in clause, so to speak, and process. So I call upon my pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card to represent the divine feminine in this Cancerian collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for November-ish, because time is fluid, 2019. Ooh, the mentor archetype, wisdom family. Very, very nice. Let's get one for the divine masculine. These will be the 3 main energies that all the other cards that hit the table will be clarifying. So they all relate back to this You'll know which one you are probably after this one hits. Go for the one that either feels like ding, 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 or right? If it just goes meh, it's not yours. Meh. All right, my Pantheon, same thing, but for the Divine Masculine in this Cancerian Collective Twin Flamer, please, one card for the Divine Masculine in this Cancerian contract. Well, the Scribe, the Mentor and the Scribe, what's interesting, both Wisdom family. Oh, well, no. So sorry. The Mentor is the Wisdom family. The Scribe is the creative family of archetypes, but you could see how those two could go together, like a mentor menting with Mentos, and the Scribe sort of like taking notes, preserving, creating a record. Now, there's light and shadow attributes written on both of those cards. I'll get to it, but we just want this third one down to represent the Cancerian Twin Flame contract itself. So please, my collective Pantheons, one more time. What is the dominant archetype, the soul power, being alchemized in this Cancerian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame contract for November-ish 2019? What's going on here? Oh, the God archetype. I just did, I think, the Leo read before this one. Yeah, I did the starting at Pisces and going to Aries. And I'm pretty sure this, or was that the Virgo one? I think that was the Virgo one, was the one for the Divine Feminine. So you might want to check the Virgo as well, because whenever I mean, there's so many cards in this deck. And you see me, I'm shuffling since the moment I hit record, right? So if a card comes up after all of that, it's supposed to come up. So those are our three. Let's get some info here. The shadow is sort of like the lead, symbolically speaking, the light, the gold. So this is what the Divine Feminine has the opportunity to heal, to alchemize from lead to gold, to bring shadow to light in this Twin Flamer. Shadow attribute. Inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. Now, not false information, false instruction, because you do not want to see them get ahead of you. Now, that's a pretty horrible quality. Granted, it is shadow power. A shadow power is essentially, the shadow part of any archetype is essentially, well, what is the thing that you wouldn't want anybody to know about or have it broadcast on social media or on the news, right? Like, that's the shit. That's like, no, I wouldn't want anybody to know that. That's how you identify the shadow. So even if you don't specifically work as a mentor, doesn't mean that you might not be a mentor to others in your life. So now let's hear for the Divine Feminine, the light attribute, whether she is the Cancerian or not. Passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. So usually you hear student in context with teacher. See, I am not a mentor. I am a teacher. I rarely take people under my wing, which is exactly what's going on in the picture there. The mentor has his wing, right? So it is more of that one-on-one thing. And remember, this need not be a romantic sexual context here. This scribe might be a student. We'll see, right? There are plenty of opportunities for the form of this relationship to be revealed. Plenty of cards for that, right? So what do we got here with the Divine Masculine Scribe? In the shadow, altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. Ooh, so if this one is copying down this one's work and altering or plagiarizing, that would be a fucking nightmare. What a freaking nightmare! The light attribute, preserving knowledge and information, which need not be written down. There are people who are like living libraries, who just like remember everything, but particularly the knowledge, interesting knowledge and information, where wisdom is the application of knowledge and information, gaining experience, and then having wisdom. So that's a very interesting kind of thing there. I kind of like that vibe. But let's look at the God archetype, Divine Masculine family archetype, obviously the Divine Male. There is also the Divine Female, the Goddess card in this deck. So this is for the contract itself. Oh, I'm feeling this. Shadow attribute. Despotism and cruelty. could be one to the other here very easily. Using power to control people could be the mentor, but could then be really shadow controlling things, changing what's being written down, stealing and plagiarizing, right? Using power to control people, just as toxic as it gets. Light attribute, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. And my goodness gracious, if this is some sort of spiritual mentorship with that kind of stuff, some sort of divine power, ooh, girl, you better watch yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That era has passed. You know, it's one thing to be a mentor. It's another to pretend like you are a guru. And I don't mean in the traditional sense of the tradition of yoga, which means essentially teacher, right? You know what guru means now. I mean, now what we have, pasta gurus? It's like, oh, she's a llama guru. Okay, a Dalai Lama? No, the camel-looking thing. It's like, okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Yeah, the spiritual ego here, it makes me a little sick to my tummy because I've dealt with it throughout my own career. Sure, we all have a touch of it. The spiritual ego is nothing more than the ego learning spiritual language and doctrine and practice and using it to judge and demean other people while it pretends to be spiritual, and then it turns around and beats the crap out of you and you haven't manifested what it wants. Where's my drag fan when I need it? Oh, of course, across the room. Oh, well, thwarp, a little invisi-thwarp there. Wow, so to really, yeah, we're going to keep an eye on these three. These need clarifications. Stat. Let's go with the Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels Oracle. Really breathe. Please breathe. It's my last reading for the day. This one feels like a doozy. Not that any of these twin flame reads have been lightweights at all. All of them at least an hour, right? I think all of them at least an hour long. So please, my angels, one card in clarity for this divine feminine mentor archetype in this Cancerian twin flame contract, Cancerian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. Please clarify one card, a celestial overview. Well, Archangel Michael. Now, I happen to love me some Archangel Michael. I mean, who doesn't like Archangel Michael? I mean, he's the protector. He's the defender. He's sort of the divine, well, they're all a balance of divine masculine, divine feminine, blah, blah, blah. But Michael's sort of hot. I mean, I'm a Urielite myself, which is a whole other different cauldron of soil, if you will. But this is the angel of truth, right? This is the angel of divine will. So with that energy there, and it's the only archangel card in this deck there. Doreen put out other ones with the different archangels in them. I don't have that one. This one does just fine, I think. We'll see if I'm supposed to get others for the holidays. Maybe I will. But with that mentor there, that there's definitely a thing here of, I don't want to say that Archangel Michael's sort of looking over them going, well, you better be fucking telling the truth. Right, but there's something here about a protection of something sacred, a sacred bond, a sacred trust, that this be done clearly and cleanly, even though it is twin flame contract, because if it really is someone teaching someone how to, and it is done in that way through healthy mentorship, then that could be a very lovely twin flame contract because the boundaries are understood. But I feel like with Archangel Michael there, it's like he's sort of saying, how about we just get the boundaries very clear about what's going on? And of course, in your individual situations, it's going to be that way. And I've said in other readings, as long as people understand what the foundation is for the contract of a twin flame, then you really don't have to get the fuck out of each other's lives. Like, because what if it's a parent, right, who just triggers you? If you really get that they are there to help you, but they don't know, right? Even if they're unconscious, oh my God, they're so unconscious. They're unconscious. It's like, well, how loving is that, right? It's like, yeah, and so did I used to be. And there before the grace of God go I. And maybe you find out about unity consciousness, that underneath all the masks is you. Not your ego, your spirit. We're all one. Fifth dimensional unity consciousness is that, my darlings. So everyone in your life is here to teach you something, soulmate, twin flame, regardless. But can you reply with love? Can you respond with love? What would love do? That's really the name of the game here in schoolroom, playground, video game Earth. Let's move on. For this divine masculine scribe, please, my angels. Yeah, I know, we just got filled with the fury of Michael on that one, didn't we? One card in clarity. I used to be an Archangel Michael channel back in the 80s. Now I'm Uriel all day, all night. It was like a FM station. Please, my angels, one card in clarity for this divine masculine scribe in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. Well, we've got freedom, right? Archangel Michael, the sword of truth, definitely cutting you free. So this is actually, with those two together, this feels pretty good. Now, of course, the question is the divine masculine in that role of being the student of the mentor, and the mentor in the shadow doesn't want to let them move on to become master, which I'm sure happens all the time, even down to like chefs in, you know, like someone's coming up through the cooking business, right? Through whatever restaurant. And, you know, it's a little All About Eve, but of course I would go there, although she was hardly... I won't spoil the movie for you, but if you have not seen All About Eve, really is a reason why some of us quote it all the time. Eve, my understudy. Course I knew. That's my favorite line, except for Salted Peanut. Let's get one for the God archetype, shall we? The overall contract, please, my angels. One card in clarity. For this God archetype represented in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. And good, we've got meditation. With the God archetype, that makes perfect sense. So there is definitely something spiritual, mindful going on here. Not really nothing here at all saying romantic sexual yet, not even getting that as a second chakra pulse or a third chakra womp womp, but we'll see. We'll keep going. Because with that card of meditation, that really, there's a major spiritual theme here. You know, there's meditation Eastern and Western and somewhere in between, right? So there's possibly somebody who has brought perhaps meditation into this twin flame relationship. Probably one would think the mentor, which the scribe might be journaling, that sort of thing, but really creating something, because we've got the scribe as the creative family archetype and the mentor with the wisdom one here. Let's just hope with that Archangel Michael that they're really being upright about it, because there are plenty of spiritual teachers who pull Me Too moments on people. And fuck that. That's not allowed. Not allowed. Nope, nope, nope. You will get caught. You will get caught. What do you think? Shadow behavior is getting excused anymore? Haven't you noticed? The shit's popping up on the news left, right, and center. Let's ask the goddesses. One tarot card, Daughters of the Moon, one for the Divine Feminine, and one for the contract itself. And we'll repeat that with another deck for the Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine and the contract. Please. Ah, my goddesses. Hera in particular, you who sits in the throne of Cancer. Until Yule, my maiden, but always my matron, but always my mother, my queen, please. One card in clarity for this Divine Feminine in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November 2019. Please, my queen, what say you? Three of Cups bonding, so there is an emotional bond here. So far, really not feeling anything turbulent, feeling actually just 3 cards down, something very, very lovely here. An emotional bond, hopefully a wise emotional bond. And it's so funny. Oh, right. I don't know if you can see this, but you put them side by side. Archangel Michael's like, girls, right? Just like making sure, like he's protecting it. So this feels very safe and very protective. Let's look at what's going on in the contract itself from the point of view of the goddesses, please. Oh, my goddesses, please, one card in clarity. She's saying, breathe, child, breathe. Oh, please, my goddesses, one card in clarity for the overall contract here. This God archetype with meditation in this Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. Please, my goddesses, what say you? The Moon. Sure, the intuition is highlighted here. Sure, things may not be as they appear to be because the Moon obscures, but it also reveals things in the divine feminine energy, that there are moments. The path is always beneath our feet, but there are moments where it is obvious, like when standing at the shore of any body of water with a full moon above you, it's showing you the path that is always there, that there's that intuitive moment of flow, of click, of aha, of oh. And through meditation, finding it more within than from without. This is actually really lovely. I would say this is soulmatey. Oh, soulmatey, right? Let's do from the gods what they say. All right, my gods, whew, please, for this divine masculine scribe archetype, please, one card in clarity. What's going on here for this divine masculine scribe in this Cancerian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. Please elucidate. The Moon! Okay. In this deck, it's Hecate. In this, it's Yemaya. Really just across the Mediterranean from each other, kinda, sorta. Beautiful, right? So that there's something here about the freedom of the divine feminine within the divine masculine scribe, that there's feeling the freedom, feeling the movement, feeling the transcendence. Really, I'm not seeing anything icky kaka poo poo in here at all so far, but don't worry, the next deck, right? Let's get our last one here for the contract itself. Please, my gods, one card in clarity. For this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. We've got the God archetype with meditation and the Moon. Please, what say you, my gods? Here we go. The Eight of Cups, walking down into the underworld. Walking down into the underworld. This is, I know it looks like Persephone, but it's not. That is Psyche, wife of Eros, who is the son of Aphrodite. This is part of the myth of the cups in the mythic tarot Juliet Sharman Burke, where the marriage does not go well. There is some betrayal, there's some hidden shit, just totally happens in relationships all the time. Psyche doesn't want to live without Eros. She loves him and he loves her, so she goes to Persephone and says, please help me. She goes, oh, I'll help you, but you have to do these things for me, these tasks. And they're really hard and totally impossible, but through her innocence, through her grace, through her love, she receives help along the way. And the last one is to descend into the underworld to get a pot of beauty cream from Persephone and bring it back upstairs, if you will, to the goddess Aphrodite. So the Eight of Cups traditionally seen as walking away. But here we do not see her back. We see her moving toward something, going within. So in this context with the moon, this is about taking a more lunar trip, a more interior experience, of course, through meditation. Again, not horrible, but is it at the avoidance of something? You know, everything I really needed to learn about witchcraft I learned from Terry Pratchett. Like, not that I didn't have great teachers and read from books and covens and all of that stuff. Oh, but just the core wisdom. It's all in the Tiffany Aching books, as well as anything that has Granny Weatherwax, Githa Og, or Margaret Garlick in it. Read. I know. It's science fiction, fantasy, but the man was a true genius. How he distilled witchcraft. Witches don't run from, they run to, or they run towards, right? So there's some wisdom in here going on. Still not sure. Maybe both of them have to do this individually, that it's not something that's happening together. But there's definitely, I gotta say, a lot of emotion going on, that it is a Cancerian contract. Why wouldn't it be water signs, right? Well, I guess we're going to find out. Here's where the shit hits the aquafan, right? We've got the Chuck Spazzano Womp Womp commons, which are the problem suit. I divided them. They are half the deck. The other half the deck are the suits of luck, healing, and grace. So if you like, this is the lead, this is the gold. We're going to have a look for each of our 3 spreads here. Cool, cool. Please breathe. Ascended Masters, you know who you are. Please, 1 card in clarity for the Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine mentor in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract. What is the lead that she is dealing with? What is the problem, the lead, that she needs to know about? Somehow that there's a trap, that feels trapped, feels hemmed in, but like very similar to the 8 of Swords in the tarot, could walk away, right? The key, yes, is in front of the prison bars, but there are no walls to that prison. So it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. It's a mental emotional thing here. Feeling trapped somehow. Feeling penned in. Limited, but of their own making. What's the gold then, please, my masters, for this Divine Feminine mentor in this Cancerian twin flame contract? Oh, healing. We'll take that one. Healing. That this mentor can be a mentor of many things, but are they a mentor in terms of healing? Are they good at healing themselves, or do they feel trapped? So, you know, someone who's a mentor can be very identified with that, not asking for help, right? Taking it on themselves. I've done it myself, right? It's like, no, I have to figure this out for myself. But the problem with that is, if you don't ask the divine for help, then it's the ego. There you have it. How do you know when the ego's in control? Well, it's trying to find a quickie. It's trying to find a workaround. It's trying to find a way, a shortcut, right? It's going to be shadowy as fuck. But I was like, no, I can do this on my own. It's the voice of separation. Pride at its worst, right? The ego is suspicious at best and vicious at worst. So the idea of trusting someone and being vulnerable, right? So very, very hard for someone who is in a teacher, mentor, even healer situation to admit that they need help, but at least go to the divine, because this trap is psychological, not actual. All right? For the Divine Masculine here, please, my masters, 1 card in clarity for this Divine Masculine Scribe archetype in this Cancerian collective twin flamer. Please, 1 card. What's the shadow? What's the problem? Oh, disillusionment, which means, with the card of the moon, with illusions and not seeing things clearly, being freed from an illusion, which another way of saying that is through disillusionment, that maybe the scribe needs to get over that the mentor is human, right? An infinite spirit, an infinite soul, an eternal being in a human body. We are all souls that were chosen, cast, if you like, to play the roles of the names of the bodies that we're in, right? So this soul has been chosen to play Mark A. Lyons. Now, not the only incarnation this soul has played on planet Earth, but now there's a thing, apparently, all along called meta-incarnation, where you play the same role over and over and over and over, just like hitting the reset button on the game. At the end, it's like, oh no, I need to play that again. I need to nail that level. I need to get that right. Making different, wiser choices every time. So get that we are all on a journey here, because what if this scribe has just been taking notes to turn around and really attack the mentor? Like, toxicity can be on both sides here. You have to feel out where you are in all of this, but certainly with disillusionment there. If you put somebody up on a pedestal where they are immortal to you, look, we're all immortal souls, but we all got issues. Otherwise, why the fuck would we still be here, right? Enlightenment comes and goes, right? It's a road, not a goal. But disillusionment is also essential for enlightenment. So maybe they're going through that as well. If there really is this spiritual context here, they might be kind of creating this body of knowledge, but now really being disillusioned, seeing things as they really are, not how they thought they were. My masters, please, one card in clarity for this Divine Masculine Scribe in this Twin Flame contract for November 2019. Well, happiness. That's interesting. That there is a huge part of, not that they're happy with their disillusionment, but maybe through their disillusionment, they're like, oh my God, you're normal too. You're just like me. We're all the same. And, you know, this Divine Feminine mentor might not be having that, although there is such a happiness feeling with the Three of Cups, this emotional bonding, that if this is a new twin flame, this could be where vulnerability comes in, where intimacy comes in, and not necessarily sexual romantic intimacy, where something is revealed. Now, even as I just touched this card for the Divine Masculine, that there is a sort of relief going on here, a piece of enlightenment. It's like, oh my God, I thought it was that way, and it's this way. Now, personally, I have this motto, and you've heard it before: don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your teachers. It's always disillusioning. But would you rather have the fantasy, right? That's the masters for you. Yes, but would you rather have a projection onto them of your own grandiosity, not your true grandeur? It's true. Tricky. I mean, I end up working for my teachers. That's why I don't want to fucking meet them anymore. No thanks. Getting way too close. No. That's why Drawing the Circle Productions is my baby, my work. Yeah. Never working for, will work with, never for. Virgo. Let's do now two more last of this deck for the Lead to Gold. Boys, what the hell is going on up there? They're doing like Nadia Comaneci fucking back springs up on the king-size bed upstairs. Boys. Breathe. My masters, please. One card in clarity. What is the lead? Considering we've got the God archetype, this is going to be a doozy, I have a feeling. What is the lead in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019? We've got the God archetype with meditation, the moon, and the Eight of Cups. Please, what's going on here? Heartbreak. Fuck. Heartbreak comes from expectations. That there is heartbreak here. That hearts are going to be broken somehow. Again, heartbreak isn't just about romance and sexuality. You know that. You can really, 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 like, have somebody that you really thought was this or that, and then find out that that was a complete fucking sham. That they were. It's not that they fell from grace, but they were never that. That's really hard to cope with, both sides. And it feels like I can't really tell, because that could be expectations happening on both sides here, which would make sense. The heartbreak is, in a way, mutual. Let's get the gold here, please, my masters. Please, one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract. Please, what's going on here? What can they balance this with? Receiving. That if they can both hold the heartbreak, if they can receive it as part of the lesson, right, from the mentor, the next thing on their path to heal, to deal with, to reconcile, like the inner child, right? Just saying, oh, honey, I'm so sorry that your heart is broken, and to cry with that child and feel with that child. But with this disillusionment on this side, too, this is a little tricky. I mean, I get them all in their individual pieces. It's just plugging them together. The larger holographic stuff isn't being shown at the moment. So let's move on to the Whispers of Love. One card each for each of the three. The voices of the higher selves, which usually help. Oh, excuse me. Oh, please. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity for the Divine Feminine Mentor archetype in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. Consider your foundation, Divine Feminine Mentor. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Oh. I just got a glimpse of what this is. My sense is that there is a very strong emotional bond here between the two of them, but there is a difference not just perhaps of age, but of experience and of wisdom, and it would not be appropriate for them to be together. That's why the Divine Feminine feels trapped. I just can't, but I have to heal this because it does feel like very inappropriate. Otherwise could lose their job, right? If it's that sort of situation. And I'm not getting something illegal. I'm just getting something unethical. And it feels like, well, then of course that's why the Divine Masculine has this card of freedom and happiness, but it's so disillusioned and moody that there's a lot of emotion here. Oh, I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense with this card. Consider your foundation. How committed are you to love? It just might not look right, right? It might not be something that feels healthy. Or that's kept in the shadows. Oh, well, let's just keep going, right? Because these are the cards that can really womp it right out. See, that's with heartbreak. I mean, you can have heartbreak in any relationship, right? Familial, best friend, whatever, disappointment, heartbreak. But with that, consider your foundation. You are being asked, how committed are you to love? And I don't know that someone would feel trapped if that was necessarily a family member, though I could be wrong. Of course, I probably am wrong. This could be in any form. I don't always try and hammer it into that romantic sexual thing, but that's definitely someone in the collective is dealing with that. Maybe not all y'all. Never all y'all are doing all the same thing. It's all theme and variation. Please, the higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity, a whisper of love. There you are. For the Divine Masculine Scribe archetype in this Cancerian collective, Twin Flame Delio, for November-ish 2019. You are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. Hence this card of freedom. Hence the disillusionment and the happiness. It kind of feels like at some point, though, this scribe has really learned a great deal, that they just can't give each other what they really want, and maybe they can catch on to that sooner rather than later and get that they are the younger, they are the lesser experienced, at least in terms perhaps of the spiritual journey. So there are other mentors, there are other teachers, and just because there's emotional bond there doesn't mean that it has to express itself in that way, and that's why this could be past life based. We'll see what the next card down is for the contract itself. But certainly, I mean, I hate to see all that heartbreak in it, where it's just, it might be unrequited love, but not that there isn't love here, there is, but just in terms of form. Like a crush. Oh, aren't crushes twin flamey as fuck? Oh my god, unrequited love. Oh, crushes, they are so twin flamey. Can you believe I had a crush on Donny Osmond when I was like 5? How you know your son might be gay. And why my hair is purple now, is that really because of Donny? Because although Marie was a little bit country, he was not even ever a little bit rock and roll. I'm a lot of bit rock and roll. Thank you, Joan Jett, Debbie Harry, Chrissy Hine. Oh my word, I fucking love them. My sisters of the rock. Woo! Blew all the cards across the table. That was a bit adamant. Let's go. One more down, and then we'll get the last card down with the new deck. Please, the higher selves of all involved, I am calling for a Hail Mary, hallelujah, please help this twin flame contract. Higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity. For this God archetype, hello, Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. Please elucidate. Ask for help. Ask for help. What is it you really need help with, right? Question number 1, what is it that I really need help with here? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. Both of them need to ask for help. Of course, start with the divine, but really ask the question, what is it you really need help with? If you don't know, make the prayer. Oh, dearest God, Goddess, all that is, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus. Fred, Wilma, Shaggy, Scooby, Velma, did I say Zan and Jana? You might as well throw in the Wonder Twins. Hippolyta, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, but definitely the Jason Momoa version. I don't even know what I need, but I need help. Help, help, fucking help, right? Help me. Great 2-word prayer, right? Ask for help, which does make sense here. I mean, this moon card, what you're feeling, and you're being drawn, come on, you're being drawn down into the underworld on this internal journey with meditation and facing a lot of heartbreak, but with receiving, perhaps breaking the heart open so that it can receive a different form of love here, because there's just no way in a twin flame that you're going to get that love reciprocal in the form, but it definitely feels like it's there in essence. So a little spell, a little practice that I have with unrequited love. I've had to do it particularly with straight men in my life. It's the alchemy of lover to brother, right? It's really just changing, and it hurts doing it, but it really is going into the interior world, into the soul, and asking for the contract not to be updated or revised, but clarified. And then what you're willing to do, because that's usually part of the contract, to go more agape than eros in terms of vibration. Yeah? Ask for help. Praise God. Hallelujah. We praise Goddess. So motive. Equal time. We're going to do a Journey of Love Oracle card for the last card down, really to kind of put together the whole thing. These cards are amazing. I will never memorize them because what's written in the book is so exquisite. Like, even pulling one card of these a day are so mind-blowing. Sort of a what do I need to know, what do I need to focus on. I'm going to be doing those after this for New Moon to Full Moon next is the next series I'm going to do. Quickies, though, after the Soulmates and the Twin Flames, I'm going to crank out like maybe 6 in one day, 6 in the other. Just bang them out really fast. Just what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? Because these are like an hour long, easy, all of these. All right? So you ready? We started off with the archetype cards. With the collective pantheons, we will end with the collective pantheons. Okay? Be fussy. Breathe with me, my crabby crabs. Mr. Krabs. Oh, please, my collective pantheons. Oh, of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November 2019. Please, where is this true love contract on its journey of true love? Journey of love. Ooh, the spaces between the worlds. I don't think I've gotten this one, but that's interesting. The spaces between the worlds. Like, there's needs space here is the first thing I'm getting. Card 24, 2 and 4 making 6, a number of harmony. So, in harmony, 2 notes on a piano right next to each other are dissonant. There needs to be space between them, usually thirds and sixths, which is hard to say if you have an angel's gap, but such is my fate. I've got an angel's gap on the top and the bottom, which you'd think would make me versatile. I'm a top. I just don't. Yeah, let's not go there. I'll save that for another conversation. Okay, the spaces between the worlds. Now, the first part of this is sort of talking about the energy of the card. It's very beautiful. The second part is an oracular thing, tells you what it means in terms of drawing it, and the third is a poem, right? So let's get up in this gig. And such an interesting color card, like very neutrals, like tans and turquoise, the spaces between the worlds. Now, witches walk between the worlds. Let's see. Never pulled this one before. What the context is. Please breathe with me. When we look for guidance, we often look for words that clarify, reassure, and help us find our authentic path through the chaos. Yet there is also guidance in the spaces between the words. Oh, it's not the worlds, it's the spaces between the words. Oh yeah, I am tired. This is my last reading for the day. I've gone all non-linear. All right, let me start that again from the beginning. That should make more sense. The spaces between the words, WORDS, number 24, reduces to a 6. When we look for guidance, we often look for words that clarify, reassure, and help us find our authentic path through the chaos. Yet there is also guidance in the spaces between the words, between each letter, between all the happenings in our lives, where there is nothing to be said, where there are no lines to be colored in, where there is just openness. Those are the times when we need to freestyle. We need to do or not do based on what is happening for us right in the moment. Hence this intuitive moon stuff going on here. Is what is happening for us in the moment. Often there is far less to do than we think. Often we don't need to think. There is a space forming around you now. Sometimes when we sense this subconsciously, we feel exhilarated and excited, anxious and nervous, and not even sure why. There is a sense perhaps that we wouldn't mind having a map of this unknown terrain, or perhaps we are happy to wing it and make it up as we go. Either way, there is a space to just be. It is a receiver for the divine. Receiving in the contract. It is a receiver for the divine presence. If you have a lot of space of unknowing around you now, or within you, then just know that there is a lot of divine presence to be received. It can't be explained really. It happens between the words, and yet without it, there wouldn't be any words, any guidance at all. The oracle speaks to you. Enter the space and let go, for your time to receive is upon you. Blessed be. I think this is written by a witch. There's a lot of blessed be in here, and I know we don't corner the market as witches, but you know, we do. The poem is called Day Birth. Oh, the eastern rise of time on newborn wings bursts out across the lifeless crowd and sings its climb to heights unknown, of beauty, warmth, and power upon its throne, to fade again in western sky, and only for a moment lie, before it takes its course again, to breathe once more in heart of man. Not rhymey, but I get it, right? It's like, it's all cyclic. It's that there is that place where there are words, and then there is that space, the silence between the words. I'm just hearing loud and clear. Don't overthink this. Don't get caught up in the mental stuff. If the mental stuff happens, what are you going to do? Right, you're going to meditate. Because right now, things are not so very clear for all y'all. It totally makes sense. You know what? Let's do this in the overview. It'll just be easy. Please join with me. Take a deep breath and magic clap. Bang. All right. So we're starting off here with the Divine Feminine, with the mentor archetype in its shadow, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. Now having this reading, things will start to click into place a lot faster. Light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character, considering that Archangel Michael is there, the protector and the defender, the will of the divine, the Archangel of truth in a lot of ways with this bonding, that it does feel like this mentor would feel trapped, that there is such an emotional bond here that needs healing, and they need to consider their foundation, that this is appropriate, that this is clear. Perhaps they're feeling entrapped by the divine masculine here, and they need to really consider their foundation. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love, even if that is, if you're the divine masculine, loving yourself and saying, no, there is something here that challenges my honor, that I just cannot do, I will not do this shadow behavior, I will love myself, Archangel Michael. Help me, guide me, guard me, get me through this, but do not overthink it too much. It will drive you crazy, and the shadow will, it's only going to keep you more trapped. That more focus on the healing, really call upon healing, wisdom, divine feminine. For the divine masculine, we've got the scribe, the shadow attribute, altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. Now, sometimes we alter facts without realizing we're doing it. But that's just an error. I don't know if that's necessarily a shadow attribute. I mean, if you're taking notes of any way, shape, or form, so easy to have your own perception color what is written down, recorded, or remembered. However, that this would be, one would think, deliberate. In its shadow, the light attribute, preserving knowledge and information. So there's definitely a bond here. There might be a lot of respect for the scribe to the mentor, particularly if this is a professional situation where they are, I don't know, I don't want to say secretary or personal assistant, but something like that. Or where, like, an editor for a book or something like that. I mean, that's very specific. And of course, in a collective, it's going to play itself out in 10 billion ways, right, in terms of form. For the Divine Masculine, we've got the moon here, which of course shows up in the contract center lane itself. But with freedom, like really navigating their way through this, that there is something freeing, and I can't help not connect that card of freedom with the Archangel Michael, that it's through the wisdom of this mentor that there has been some emotional freedom here, interestingly enough, while the mentor is feeling the Three of Cups bonding. It's just, what is the nature of that bond? Is it healthy or is it not? Definitely in a twin flame, there's something there to be transformed. And then right underneath that moon, there is that disillusionment. And so often the card of the moon can be illusion, right? So the disillusionment that comes with that, but then brings this freedom and happiness somehow. Why? Because Divine Masculine, your higher self is telling you you are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. Looking at our center lane here, the contract in and of itself, we've got the God archetype, the shadow attribute, despotism and cruelty. You could imagine a mentor treating a scribe that way, right? Using power to control people. You could see the scribe doing that on the shadow, changing the words, altering facts. So this abuse of power could go either way. But the light attribute, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. So if this is your read, that is what this contract is really about. Benevolence, compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and this other, that you are souls that are incarnating here, and you have to figure out what the high road is. Maybe not mentally, maybe intuitively, just because the interplay of so much water in this spread. Like, for instance, the meditation card right underneath the God archetype there, with the moon on the left and the Eight of Cups on the right. Definitely a dive into the soul, definitely a walking the path inward to find the truth of the heart. What is at the heart of the matter here? What is the soul's part in this? Because the heart is broken. There is heartbreak here, and yet receiving. And often, yes, a heart can break through receiving so much love, so much guidance, so much grace. But really then, rather than pieces of the heart is completely pulverized to dust. And when the heart opens, it becomes a galaxy of stars all around the central point of the heart's core. And so, again, the higher self here is saying, ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need, but do get, with our final card here, the journey of love, the spaces between the words, that's where your answers are, in the spaces between the words, in the silence, in the unknown. Let yourself be empty so that the divine can fill you both. Healing, teaching you how to heal so that you are both freed from the trap here for the divine feminine, freedom from the disillusionment, and into their own limitlessness in the divine masculine, all fulfilling this God archetype contract for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for November-ish 2019. Well, that was a fucking mouthful, and a very specific context, right? You know, like a mentor and a scribe. I mean, they make sense together, but I can't imagine like billions of those scenarios. So there might have to be some real intuitive juggling here. Like, if I don't get a lot of likes and a lot of people drawn to this one, I'll know why, but that's out there for somebody. So if it's yours, please comment below, because this feels very key and lock. Like, this does not feel like it's for hundreds of thousands of people. This feels like maybe it's for 5 across planet Earth, but I would love to know. So please comment below. Please do like and subscribe. Get me to 1,000. I promise we will have so much fun doing Drunk Tarot once I get the availability to do super live chat. You can tip me for it. We'll just laugh. It'll be like comedy hour. And only once a month, and for the first couple of months, we'll see how it goes, right? Let's not overturn YouTube, right? Rebellion. And besides Cancerian, this is my last read for the day, so I am going to wash off the makeup. Of course I'm wearing makeup. Nobody needs to be lidless and shiny on YouTube. And I'm going to sit down, I'm going to make my dinner, I'm going to snuggle in, I'm going to process these vids through the editor and put them up on YouTube tonight, with only 3 left to do tomorrow, and then a private client working from my home. I love it so much. You feel me, don't you, Cancerians? I love you all, and may the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in their twin flame contracts for November-ish 2019, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may become the very best that they can be, and fulfill their roles in the divine plan. I really do mean it. I love my Cancerians. May you all be blessed. May you all feel the truth of the love of who you really are, for the well-being of all. And so it is. But for now, my darlings, my crablets. What do you mean? What do you mean, Cancerians? Hail, farewell, and blessed be.